Welcome to the Metadata Schema online tutorial. I will show you in 5 simple steps how to create a metadata definition in Mio. Step 1. Create a metadata definition. Step 2. Add fields. Step 3. Manage configuration per field. Step 4. Assign permissions. Step 5. Save the object type. Step 1. Create a metadata definition. Select the New Metadata Definition button from the navigation panel on the right-hand side of the Mio console. Assign a name, for example, Metadata Definition Test, and visibility. This will determine who will see the schema. Step 2. Add fields. The Metadata Designer is a data modeling design tool that allows you to design your metadata models graphically. The Workflow Designer is split into 4 distinct panels. The Metadata Palette on the left-hand side of the screen, the Metadata Canvas in the center of the screen, the Metadata Control Bar at the top of the screen, and the Metadata Configuration panel on the right-hand side of the screen. Here's a tip. Some of the panel components can be dragged out of the Metadata Designer to allow more space for the Metadata Canvas. Once dragged out, the panel will float above the Metadata Designer. Such panels can be docked with the Metadata Designer again by dragging them to the original location. Creating and updating a metadata definition involves adding items to and removing items from the Metadata Canvas. Typically, a user adds new fields from the Metadata Palette and then configures them with the Metadata Configuration panel. To add a field to the Metadata Canvas, click on the Metadata Canvas on the field above where you want your new field to go to. Click in the field type you wish to create in the Metadata Palette. Step 3. Managing configuration. Configure your new field by providing a name, a description, and any other options available. Although the Metadata Designer automatically creates a name, it is a good idea to create a more meaningful one. If you wish to add more fields of the same type, you can click the field type in the Metadata Palette and new fields will appear below the last one that was added. You can also add a new field by right-clicking on the field above where you want to add your field to. When you right-click, a pop-up menu will appear. Step 4. Assigning permissions. Permissions are held within the metadata schema on an access, read, and write permission setup. On the bottom right-hand corner of the Metadata Designer, in the configuration panel area, you can tick the box that relates to what you want to do. Step 5. Saving your Metadata Designer. Your metadata definition is automatically validated as you add and configure your fields. Every field that is added to the Metadata Canvas must have a valid name and display name. The following rules apply. Both the name and display name are mandatory. If a field has already been saved, then the name will no longer be editable. It will be grayed out. Every field must have a name and display. The field name and display name cannot be more than 50 characters in length. The field name can only comprise lowercase letters, numbers, and hyphens. For example, a field name. The field name must be unique within the current metadata definition. If you try and enter a non-unique name, the text will change to a red coloring. Once you have created your metadata definition, click the Save button in the control bar. The Metadata Designer will notify you that the metadata definition is being saved. The Save button is only enabled if a change has been made to the metadata design. Have a go at creating a metadata definition for yourself using these 5 simple steps.